everyone, welcome to Food Science Adda247. I am Mahima and in today's session we will be decoding your Meghalaya FSO. So in today's session we are going to see that what is Food Safety Officer, the job role, salary, notification timeline, the selection process, the instructions on how to fill the form, do's and don'ts, and at the end we will be giving you some help desk and contact information. So without any further ado, let's start with the session. So the very first thing is, what is a food safety officer? So in simple words, a food safety officer is the representative of the food authority who interacts directly and closely with the FBOs on a regular basis. Meaning that your food safety officers are those officers that are interacting with your food business operators on a regular basis. And the job role, basically you have to ensure that your food business operators follow the rules of your FSSA Act 2006. Basically, FSO plays a crucial role not only in implementation of the provisions of FSSA Act 2006 but also act as a guide to FBOs in complying with the provisions of FSSA Act rules and regulations. In very simple words, meaning you have to ensure that all the food business operators are following the rules and regulations of your FSSA Act 2006. Now moving on, we will be discussing about what is Meghalaya Food Safety Officer. So, Meghalaya Food Safety Officer basically is an official designated by the state government to ensure compliance with food safety regulations and standards. In very simple language, these are the same as your CFSOs but on a state level. The Meghalaya Food Safety Officer will be ensuring that the FSSA Act's regulations are being complied and being followed in the state of Meghalaya. So what you have to do, you will be have to doing the inspections and sampling, and you have to take some regulatory actions which are certified in the FSSA Act 2006. So basically, in very simple language, you are responsible for enforcing the provisions of Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. Now moving on to the organizing body and the notification. We are covering this Meghalaya Food Safety Officer because recently we have seen the notification that is given by your MPSC. So the organizing body will be your Meghalaya Public Service Commission. Another thing, the advertisement is already being released, okay, and the date when the application was released was 8th April 25. And one more important thing is which you have to note down is that the mode of application will be online only. You have to go to mpsc.nic.in and you have to apply online. There will be no offline applications. Now moving on to the number of posts that are advertised. So a total of 14 posts are advertised. Alright, there are total of 14 posts that are advertised for your food safety officers in Meghalaya. So there are 2 posts for your general category, 6 and 5 posts are for the tribal communities of your Meghalaya, and other than that there is 1 post for OST and SC. So that will make a total of 14 posts. So now let's just talk about the pay scale. It is very clearly mentioned in the notice that the food safety officer will receive a level 12 pay scale. Okay, so that means in hand you will be getting 39,400 basic pay, and apart from that if you will add HRA, DA, so you might get around 60,000 to 70,000 in hand, and that is very good pay structure. So those who are eligible, go for it and fill your application forms. So now moving on to the exam trend. Now if we see the exam trend, the last notification was released on October 2023 and the exam was conducted on 8th of June 2024. So if we see the trend, roughly you might have some about 9 months. So 9 months is ample of time for your preparation. Don't miss this chance and start your preparation now. So now let's talk about some eligibility and the educational qualification which you need to fill this form. So the essential degrees, you need bachelor's, master's, doctorate in food technology, dairy technology, biotechnology, oil technology, agriculture sciences, veterinary sciences, biochemistry, microbiology, chemistry or medicine. See, one thing to note down is that you do not need to have a master's degree. Those candidates who are having a bachelor degree in any one are eligible for it. Okay? Master degree or doctorate degree is not mandatory. The candidates with bachelor's degree are also eligible for the post of your food safety officers. Now another thing is that age limit. Age limit is 18 to 32 years, and as of 1st Jan 2025, you should be of 18 to 32 years. There are age relaxations as per Meghalaya government also. Now let's move on to the application process and fees. So the very first thing which you will do is you have to go and register or log in on MPSC portal, and then you have to apply online. So the candidates who have already applied for some exams through MPSC portal, they can directly apply online. But the candidates who have not applied for any other post, so they have to go through one-time registration. Okay. So just make sure that the candidates who have already applied for some other post, they can directly go and apply online. But the candidates who have not applied, they have to go for one-time registration. So after that, you will go and fill your personal details and communication address, education, qualification, everything. And then you have to upload your photo, signature and your certificates that are mentioned. Alright. Now, after that, you have uploaded your documents. Now, you will be paying the fees. So the fee structure is 350 rupees for general category, and for Meghalaya SC/ST it is 175, and for PWBD it is 0. Okay, you don't have to pay any fees if you are under the category of PWBD. And the mode will be e-challan and SBI online or via Grass Gateway, meaning you can pay the fees by net banking also, debit card also, credit cards also. So that will it, and then you have to submit and note down the application form number. See, one thing people do, most of the candidates do, is that they forget to note down the application number. So this is one of the most crucial step. When you submit your form, note down your application number, okay, for the future reference. So that was it on how to fill the application process and what will be the fee. Now let's just talk about the exam centers and important dates, because one of the major concern about of major students were that where will be the exam centers. So the exam centers will only be in Shillong, Tura, Juari, Willingmangar and your Nongstoin. So the entire exam centers will be in Meghalaya only. Okay, so you have to choose one from the following. Now another thing, the key dates. Online applications are already opened. Okay, 8th of April 2025 the applications have been started, and the last date to apply is 9th May 2025. 9th May 2025 at 5 PM. Okay, you have to fill your form by 5 PM on 9th of May 2025. I would suggest this fill beforehand. Okay, don't wait for 9th of May. You just have to fill your form before 9th of May. Now let's see the screening and test pattern. So there will be total 300 marks, and the category we will have general English and general knowledge for 100 marks, and food safety and standard and nutrition will be of 200 marks. So this will make a total of 300 marks. Two parts will be there. The first part will consist of general English and general knowledge, and the second part will be related to your food safety standards and nutrition, which will comprise of 200 marks. Now let's see the syllabus overview. They have not specified the syllabus, but seeing the recent last year question papers, we have come up with a syllabus. And for the first part, general English and GK, you have to do your comprehension, grammar, vocabulary, current affairs, history, geography of India and as well as Meghalaya. So when you are preparing for the examination, you have to prepare not only for your Meghalaya state, but you have to prepare the geographic, history, GK, current affairs of entire state or entire country. Okay. And about the second part, food safety and nutrition, the things you need to cover is FSSA Act and regulations, your FSSA Act 2006, its regulation, compliances, everything that will come under FSSA Act and regulations. And apart from that, you have to cover food chemistry, microbiology, hygiene, food processing, preservation techniques, your novel food processing techniques, preservation techniques, thermal techniques, non-thermal techniques, everything you need to cover, because as we analyzed the paper, we saw that there were questions from everywhere. There were questions from nutrition, food processing, food preservation, food biochemistry. So we have to cover everything, including your FSSA Act and regulations, food chemistry, microbiology, hygiene, processing and preservation techniques, lab methods means analytical methods. What are the analytical methods? your quality control and assurance, you have to cover everything. Your HACCP, GMP, GHP, GLP, you have to cover everything. No defined syllabus is there as of now, but you have to cover everything that is related to your FSSAI, everything that will come under food and nutrition. So, selection process in interview. What will be the selection process? First, there will be a screening test. Okay, screening test will be there, and the candidates who qualify the screening test, they will be shortlisted, and the ratio is not yet decided. The ratio will be decided by your MPSC. After the conduction of the exam, the ratio will be decided by your MPSC. After you have qualified the test, you have to appear for the personal interview. Okay, so one thing that is clearly mentioned is that while you are attending the interview, you need to produce all required documents in original relating to the education qualification, date of birth, caste, community, and other certificates wherever required and prescribed by the rules will be deemed qualified to be called for the personal interview. That means when you are going to fill your application form, you have to do it very carefully. Okay. So now let's just talk about instructions and do's and don'ts, what you have to do and what you don't have to do. So very first, you have to update your MPSC profile before applying. This is specifically for those candidates who have filled MPSC forms before this FSO. Okay. And the candidates who are doing one-time registration, they also have to update their profile. Now next thing, center choice. There will be no changes allowed in the center once the form is submitted. So when you are applying for the post, when you are filling your application, choose the center correctly, okay, because after that you won't be allowed to make any changes. Provisional admission eligibility checks are done at each stage. False claim lead to cancellation. So simply when you are going to fill your form, you have to fill it very carefully. Next is the candidates bear cost for their test and interview. The MPSC is not going to give you any cost for the travelling or interview. Now this is some help desk and contact information. MPSC help desk phone number is there and email is there. If you have any doubt related to the notification or any vacancy, you can call on this number, and you can mail at helpdesk.mpscmega@gov.in. Okay, so that was it for today. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.